here he is, the man of the hour. It is Jacob deGrom, and we begin by saying congratulations to you. And again, how about joining the likes of Seaver and Matlack and Gooden on that Mets list?
I mean, just to have my name mentioned with those guys is a real honor. You know, coming into this year, never would have expected any of this, and just really thankful that it happened.
It has been a meteoric rise. Go ahead, Harp.
Jacob, you know, when you first came up, I heard from scouts, you know, everybody said you were hard thrower, sinker down in the minor leagues. That's the way you got people out. Then you got up here, and scouts were amazed you were able to adapt and throw up in the zone as quickly as you could. You don't see that from guys young in the major leagues. How did you do that so quickly?
I think just working in between starts with Dan. You know, he put a lot of work in with me. I would throw two sides sometimes in between starts to work on repeating my delivery, and then just watching the video with him and working on, you know, repeating my delivery and different mechanical things has really helped out.
You know, when I was in the front office with the Mets, we used to worry about guys coming up from the minor leagues and how they'd handle New York. You pitched to a 1.7 ERA at home. I mean, that's ridiculous how good it is. How did you handle it?
I just tried to keep things simple. Just go out there and take it, you know, one pitch at a time and try to throw strikes.
You know, when you first came up, the theory was that you were going to pitch out of the bullpen, and then here you are, Dylan G goes down, and you start against the Yankees. Your first big league start against the Yankees out at Citi Field. What about that adjustment mentally from going as a guy who was going to pitch in the bullpen to being a starter?
I think it was a bigger adjustment trying to figure out how I was going to throw out of the bullpen. Once they told me I was going to start, I was kind of a little more relaxed. But I just tried to go out there my first one, and you know, I didn't look around until the game was over because I knew there were a lot of people there, and I was really nervous. So I just tried to have fun with it and try to throw strikes, and I went out there and gave it my best.
You didn't get your first win until your 8th start. What about battling through that and not getting down along that period?
Like I said, I'm kind of a pretty simple person, so I just tried to keep it simple and not try to do too much throughout that whole time, too.
Was it hard, though? I mean, pitchers are defined by the victory, so how difficult was that?
It was difficult. Yeah, it was definitely difficult in a couple of games that I felt like maybe I could have got a couple wins, but, you know, I knew the guys were giving 100% behind me, and, you know, that eventually it would take care of itself.
Jim?
You know, I was curious. It seemed like your slider got tighter and better. It was more of a strikeout pitch as the season went on. I'm curious, did you change the grip at all, or was it just by throwing it more it got better? What can you tell us on that?
I think with talking to the guys like Wheeler and G and those guys about how they threw it, Harvey, all of them, and you know, I started throwing the curveball a lot more too, so I had a little bit of separation between the two now, and I think talking to them about how they threw it and learning from those guys helped it become a better pitch.
Jacob, talking to your college coach when you first came up, talking about your transition from shortstop, he said they had unbelievable confidence in you, even though they'd only seen you in short stints to put you in as a starter. He said you could throw strikes with your eyes closed, for one thing, and you just had this poise where you never rattled on the mound. I mean, just where did that kind of thing come from? I
think it came from my parents. And the throwing strikes thing definitely came from my dad, because even when I played the infield, it was always about making a good throw. So whenever I would play catch with him, I'd pick out a spot, you know, on him and try to hit it every time. So it started that from a very young age, and I think that really helped me out, you know, along the way.
Big way,
yeah,
right?
I really think so.
You know, I'm curious, at the end of the year, when you pitched so well, everyone's asking you about the fatigue and the innings pitched limit. How'd you work through that, and were you feeling any fatigue? Because it didn't look like it.
I was definitely starting to get a little tired. I had never thrown that many innings, you know, from the AAA innings to the big league innings. With those combined, I had never thrown that many. So I was starting to get tired, and I was really trying to just get early contact. Right. And, you know, the last couple I started getting a lot of strikeouts, and but the goal was to go get early contact and try to stay in the game late.
Jacob, it was an amazing rookie season that culminated today with the Rookie of the Year award. As you look back on it, was there a moment, is there something you're most proud of?
Probably just my debut, because that's a day that, you know, you dream of ever since you were a little kid, and then when I got the call that I was coming up, that was just a really cool experience.